Nothing is sacred. Trees, bees, cauliflower, running water in a mountain glade, diamonds sparkle, dew-morning spider webs, a robin call, a blue jay answer, the almost inaudible sigh of lovers, a seesaw laugh, the crack of a bat on a scented June night, hopscotch, that perfect edge of caffeine and THC, nipple-sucked content, stoop-side with the boys, a well-mixed drink, just because, belief in the improbable, a new kitten and old love, mosquito green sunset quiet, oxygen, a New York moment, slipping in where you don't speak the language, all are children, nothing is sacred, everything is holy. Thank you.
Woo!
In the last few months, I've kind of abandoned asking my features for bios, and I'm not exactly sure why, but I just like, it may be a response to my divorce, but that's a different story. Well, Megan always insisted, she's like, you've got to read the bio. So maybe this is just occurring to me now that this may be pushback on that. I'm not exactly sure. But anyway, we have three fucking fabulous features, and we're going to start. We have Matt Proctor over there, who runs a really fucking great open mic every Monday in my old stomping grounds at the Red Room above KGB Bar. And it is a vital, dynamic reading. It's young, it's fun. It's not just poetry. It's a little bit of everything, and he runs a great show. And it ain't easy to run a great show. A lot of people don't, and he happens to. So make sure to check that out. He has some books for sale, because I didn't ask for a bio. I can't tell you what they're called or how many there are or what they cost, but he has some. So you ask him, and then buy his fucking books and be done with it. Give it up for Matt Proctor.
Thank you for that. Yeah, sure. For that introduction, yes, I've got books. I've got zines here. I've got a lot of them because I'm moving. So, I gotta get rid of these things. Happy Juneteenth, everybody. I'm honored to be here. I'm just gonna read two pieces from my diaries, my Cosmopolitan Micro Diaries. This first one is called Candy Cigarettes. May 30th, 25. Candy cigarettes. The Ink thinks. Day his movie came out, Wes Anderson subscribed to my YouTube. From 85, I was alive in this world. Save some Owen Wilson for later. I'm a reporter on my own life. Los Angeles seems like the worst place to make a movie. I've had that epiphany before. Might as well write a poem, I'm just sitting there. Turn this into our own version of nightclub appomattox. Speak nice to each other, play catch with me. Let the skin fall, it's time for that. Pocket money turned elite, the deed is open. The wolf bleeds heat in a dagger, notating DILF. Fedora reopened. My life is a movie that will never get made, more of the same. The World Trade Center cat took the ferry. Do you want to run that by me one more time? Just another thing my phone does now. Sometimes I don't separate the two. I need a rifle tone 50 East Champions. Spent a lot of time behind a two-way mirror, enjoying classical in the park. South of the wildest Where's Waldo bar. There's a city in China where they speak Portuguese. Graydon Carter's wooden putter, listening to his memoir on audiobook in the booth next to us at the Odeon. Basking in your success, bright lights, Big Ashley. We'll clean it up later. Jim Burley called John Wieners live on public radio in Boston. Jim Dunn delivered John to Burley's series Riverstones or something. The show was costing the station money. Now he reviews movies which he pays to see. And that got canceled too. The movie stops here. Keeping Beatrix Potter Peter Rabbit box set from BP gas station in the headboard shelf of my bunk bed, which I shared with Brother Jack throughout the majority of our childhood. Stacking them, taking them apart, lying them side by side. I want an old-fashioned life. When you go away, you never see them again, or return after years. Prodigal son Odysseus. First class I took in college was Homer. The Iliad and the Odyssey. The professor would bring bran muffins and baked goods he had cooked himself for the class to snack on while we learned about Patroclus or Agamemnon. Achilles, played by Brad Pitt in the movie Troy, which they were making at the time, but I never saw. Halal restaurant in the Hopper painting, mixed lamb over rice. I give it a 5. The stars are up. Z is for xylophone. In the carousel of languages, none of them threw their hats. Doctors can't always help you. I belong in the nightclub. Kids today. Am I right? Thank you. Thank you guys for coming. And thank you for doing this beautiful series. Talk about amazing shows. What a great tradition to be a part of, and all the features and all the open mics, and to be here at Otto's. What a treat. Thank you for having me. I had a $4 PBR. This is the last place you can do that anywhere, I think, in Manhattan. So I'll just read this. This is kind of a longer piece, probably about 8 minutes. This is called 5 Below. June 13th, 25. 5 Below. Even if you work, you're never going to own a home. Scrap the printing. When I'm 65, I'll do nothing now. Strawberry full mites in the air like film grain. Stay off my leg, a bubble where the bite is. Induction demonic. A missile fell, didn't she say that? We pay for it. Why does God let this happen? I get high, then I get scared. Taking an evening walk in clouds of cool green, chiffon in the breeze whisking its leaves. He signed his fate into the void. God only knows. To get out of the house, war starting, gathering threat clear to the eye. Proceed with caution. Withdraw from the region, nothing doing. When I hit the market, I variegate the exploitation. Obedient unit on input stimulus. Thanks for the update. Modifying the commodity, hope to make sense by accident. When you have nothing, you make your own. Came to the city to apply childlike techniques to the brownstone. Did AI write this? Maestro of circumstance and shaman of guest lists, kicking loose old acid from my spinal fluid. Scientist of vibration, always on the road. Trump derangement syndrome just means you voted for him. Bruises from pratfalls. Sabu died in the ring. That's why we love him. And probably what he would have wanted. I want to have a massive heart attack and die on stage. And people think it's part of the show. Beautiful summer goes by my leg. They robbed us of experience before it was over. Discouraging tourism because travelers don't want a Spanish Inquisition for entering the country. Transatlantic plagiarism monetized eavesdropping. Chained to a bucket, DDG Live, Day One Streamer University, Kai Sanat from the AMAs, David Wild introduces himself backstage, judgment knocked off by moral behavior. The society agreed not to do what it wanted, so neither could I. Speaking a language twins teach each other, daddy chicken, baby lava, all the C biotics pounce circa sweet 11:30. My favorite time because the show was set then. We played our part in its downfall. Political correspondent standing in an eye patch in the rain. Moving Farrah Fawcett poster shuffling through the display. Hardliners, homegrowns. A posture of imprimatur, giving myself the right, using ID as proxy. Sophia and Romy hurry away with golden retriever. Do not come back to this house without Dubai chocolate. Anemic distraction fructifies the downfall, which quite frankly worked to our benefit. We wanted to borrow the past, a luxury resort, years away from after recognition. Evidence his voice had been destroyed, an otherworldly darkness over the lagoon, scars of fog on Zuma Beach. I saw you walk Anna Swee. You ate down, baddie. Sport dust from our brains. A screen divide finishing the job falls inward on a pile. Does somebody know what they're talking about? This book makes no sense. Dick Francis jockey mystery. People know what they're fighting for. They've split the left. Thought I'd never see you again. Wolfing down Jack Link's, a commercial for Muppet Vision starring anthropomorphized chicken McNuggets. Porterhouse on sale had the humor of closing the first set. Waves of trying to get shit done. Purple knees, sore thigh, root pick reshare. Followed a couple of the busy anything at the limits of source. Wanted something special. Now the ritual is restored in the absence of technological control. I forgot because I tried to remember. Even with different inputs, it changes nothing. Waking up in a crack house in East St. Louis, the talent gene run in the family, beauty too. My last meal would probably be something by Ashley. Steak and scallops, lobster, mac and cheese. We have it every week. I'm 40, so whatever's going to happen would have happened by now. Finishing near the bottom of the pack, there were some nice bars and lunch stands by the baseball park. I won't read anybody's poetry who teaches in a university. Ed Dorn's account of MLA Conference, Hughestown, 1980, cranking out the material for Thursday. Everybody's working for the next 6 weekends, reading Ulysses to the Beach Boys, smile aloud. It's been over 10 years I spent some time in the sonnets. Where did it all start for you? Not trying to take advantage of the well-known. Did World War III start last night? The beginning has been ongoing. She has family there, they both do. Admirable to stand up to great Satan. My long-term research into how she was brought up. Day of rest after yesterday's day of rest. Is that the sound of you being home? It's coming from within. Made the mistake of only the good parts when I should have put in everything else instead. Don't need anybody's endorsement to be yourself. I'm sure he's a real nice guy, born at the right time, that's all. Coping with getting older. My sensibility was outdated to begin with. Boomer Jr. handing down shadows of worldwide magic. Feeding myself language, sounds, and images. It all comes crashing down. Is it the rise of the machines or attack of the clones? Like Y2K, nothing will happen. The prediction of threat will fizzle like a dud. If it's going to happen anywhere, it's going to happen here. Let it happen naturally. Practicing scales like my grandma, except she invited me to dinner. A prolonged hindrance devolving into love. He likes sitting around and reading the dictionary for fun. You have to be careful with those. You'll get into trouble. She doesn't seem to care. They want to kill the mind within. Exploring new writers, a science fiction of the past. The founding fathers are beetles in the elevator. They are convincing us to buy early death and flurries of ecstasy, dividing us from the real by an intercepting veil of hypnosis. She said the things we wanted to say but couldn't. Teaching Joan Didion's Malibu beach house to the vision board, harping on the same points over and over, robbed blind by validation. Hard work never worked for me. Made of the earth where we walked, hurts worse than I thought, but the body is the pain of having one. We all need allies of each other right now. Geological, anthropological, market research, push is coming to shove. Glaciers receding to sculpt flatlands and bodies of water, a return to not knowing how it works. Whatever is most exciting to believe, pagan mystery, about to topple into the black pool where heroes die. Watching the U.S. Open golf tournament on Father's Day as Israel declares war on Iran, dragging the U.S. into an even more devastating, pointless theater of pain in the Middle East. Maybe now is the best time to move out. Maybe the rich people will leave when all hell breaks loose, retreating to their estates in the country like Paul Rudd's candy store across from Bard, where Robert Kelly teaches, who I'm currently reading, The Common Shore, which I don't totally get, but I'm liking. Feels like Tree of Life meets Ed Sanders' Histories or Bernadette Mayer's Chronicles of Early Settlements upstate. Holding court with black Russians in the bars downstairs. It's confusing because the other room is the red one. Buying myself to not be afraid of my phone for a day or two, owing the weekend to myself, wasting the dregs of youth and spoiled repose, observing phantoms in place of real people, friends I could have known. That poem taught me how to write again, as I did to myself. You're going to accept these unjust and illegal wars and shut the fuck up about it, or we'll expel you, deport you, kick you out of the country. We talk against the devil occurring to the gang of clowns, speak out against ICE, too many things happening at once. Damien's hitting the town, seeing 8.5 tomorrow at Film Forum. Maybe we should go to that in light of our current moment. Need to do acid again ASAP. Death cements the firmament. The river has a name and the history comes from there. He spent more than the business was worth, not getting the young people's music and cringe and embarrassing efforts to try. Started to mention it more in my works. My last book looks even stronger now, vindicated by events occurred since. When they kicked me out, that's when I began to surrender to reality. I had to beg the audience for reaction. My cue card came true. He probably knew from videos, putting the soul on stage, yelling wretches the spirit from its flesh sock. We were trying to do the same thing after we just gotten finished, nearly being destroyed by that happening once before. So I had to veer into something else. Brothers Records gained what I Peabody construe. It better this trunk, the magic spellstress, wouldn't allow them to work there. Moments, sitch. My girl so pretty coined the term gyat. You can't use that word. She's making dinner. They call me from a corner of the street, group of 4, bounce house, basketball court, coveting thy bent into shape. He's completing the third, a heaven music. Dove into his houseboat to retrieve some valuables. Brought me some black sparrow back from Philadelphia. And Delmore Schwartz. Why are people always gifting me Delmore Schwartz? Camu Banal, eating my own stutter. The apartments are packed nicely onto that hill of a street in a row. Thanks again.
Matt Proctor, everybody.
Matt, come get on the open mic. Again, we do this the third Thursday of every month. And we'll try to have you back again when we're a little less sparsely populated as well. Next, we have Mr. David Lawton, an old friend. Back when I was really first cutting my teeth on poetry, David was there. Back at Nightingales and in the old Cornelia Street Cafe. And we learned our shit together. And here he is now. He's a great poet, a great human being. And we won't hold the Red Sox against Mr. David.
Woo!
I think so. Hi, everybody. Happy Juneteenth. And before I do anything, I want to say thank you, Matthew, for asking me to read tonight. And thanks those of you who have come out because I have a new chapbook out, and I'm going to be reading poems from it places, so this gives me a chance to launch some of them. So I thank you very much for being here. Nice to see folks I haven't seen for a long time. And the name of my chapbook is The Graveyard of Memory. And I have copies if you're interested later on. The Endurance of Dogtown. Hidden inland from the Salt Lake shore, a wilderness of pirates and witches, crowding the wives of sailors who did not come home to the tight-packed cold clay, rolled in clover, wet-nose, imprint domicile. This is a forgotten history for the unaware, cataloging the flea-bit cellar holes with the vagabond ghosts of juicy bones, picking out the ancient scent of abandonment, where the howling absence fills the spaces between every outcrop of scrub brush and thorny pine to show its faith in the vastness of time. How in the stuffed shirts of the Gravity Institute tried to whitewash the idea of healthy slobber by having unemployed stonecutters carve inspirational sayings on Dogtown's boulders. Every native canine raised their leg at the one that said, "Get a job," and made their steaming mark on it. For instinct tells them to protect the bitch that whelped them. A story about my hometown. The Woobanoda. They called it the Woobanoda. If you were stuck in traffic on the east side of the town, it would get all upside your nostrils with a stink like rotten brontosaur eggs. It could have been from the General Foods plant, where they rendered down whatever marrow and fascia it takes to make your jello wiggle, or the cleaning solvents and heavy metals the factories disposed into ponds and lagoons. But when a construction company broke ground on the new industrial park, unearthing a mass grave of animal hides from old leather tanneries, the proud rocky New England soil vomited up a corrosive, neglectful stench which moved with a sluggish breeze all through the oppressive summer months of ruined cookouts and Little League games, until the state sealed the crypt with red clay and looked the other way. Everybody hold your nose until it's over. Here in Delos, directions for crossing the Charles River. You keep to your pattern. Provincial sidewalk, bustling creature of habit in grimy, busy neighborhood, advancement delayed to point of exhaustion. Sometimes a portal in the fold of the map, a rail yard avenue, seam of steerage, riding the inner mechanics of your rotating gears, flicks the upstage side of the canvas flat as you go, dressed like a popinjay despite the brutal landscape, checking to see if the lens is wet. It's all there, clearly. What a nice reflection. This happened just the other day, in the 80s. Why waste time when it needs to be squandered? Conundrum. Lingering in the graveyard of memory through received transmission by way of high vacuum cathode ray tube in 3-strip color technology from Television City in Hollywood. Brought to you by the good folks at Uncle Ben's Condensed Rice. Borscht Belt Oracle spoke of the absurdity of the purple car, causing uproarious laughter from his well-fed audience. Quiz show Conundrum, dressed in shtick for union scale. Game board sliding panels reveal puzzles inscrutability. Reproachful buzzer dooms contestant to tragical consolation prize. Ding, ding, ding! The blinking bell declares the purple car the new improved thing. It's good product placement to have a bonus round with the violet object of which you dream. The purple car killed vaudeville, made the cathode ray tube obsolete, ran over every dinosaur, left our demographic in the dust. The purple car stays so damn cool that it will freeze your old ass out. It does not need to get the joke, but you will be sure to remember it. Vaguely, inexplicably like some lame advertising jingle stuck in the back of your head. Yeah, there won't be that many more, don't worry.
You got time, David.
Yeah.
I will proceed, right? Sunrise matinee. Audio from some movie playing in the next room. You wake up to the sound of it without remembering having it on before you fell asleep. Sound of an unfortunate sequel in an unnecessary series of films, rom-com or dramedy or buddy cop action. It continues in the background of the morning, like wallpaper. You wonder if you can't understand it because you didn't see the first one. Doug McClure, you can substitute the bad actor of your choice. His performance is earnest but unconvincing. Should have had his lines fed to him, like Brando. Fed to him by Brando might be more effective. Feeding him to Brando might have been most useful. More spam than ham, though. You wonder if someone turned it on as a joke, climbed in the window, or set it on a timer. But it doesn't seem to matter. It's unbidden endurance fills in the wasted hours, fills the emptiness of your thoughts as I fill the softness of my easy chair. Technicolor lack of action, clouding your eyes, charged by the static of stasis. You cannot turn your head away from the hours that steal you from your dreams.
Woo!
Next is called Cave, and it has a, whatchamacallit at the beginning. You know what I mean? The thing that isn't the other thing. Right? That, exactly. Epigram. Whichever the thing is. One Cave Inward. Jack Kerouac, Mexico City Blues, 16th course. This is the space we escape to, a cavernous hiding place for what passes for reality these days, from the blasphemous lies of imam and preacher man, entrenched by cameral partisanship, bloated imperial powers, and the thin blue chalk outline. While our heroes are dying off, the music on the radio is just an audition for a car commercial. Every place so thick with product placement, we struggle to come together as a tribe, as once we did without even trying. This place pops open its jaws like a cold reptile at lunch and takes us in. Hop, Van, Tom, and Becky Thatcher on the run from vengeful Injun Joe without a blazing torch to lead the way. God gives us the potential for both good and bad, but you must struggle in the dark to find the balance you can live with. The lights go down on our sense of control, and two soccer moms kiss each other with their tongues. Churning organ meat grinder stirs underworld metalloid grumble. Constant shipbolts toll in my inner ear as the ghost boat's deck begins to sway. Lean necromancer shadow climbs the wall. Purgatorial lounge singer slick with oil. Primordial drip dropped in brackish water. The bituminous beat which repeatedly throbs. A girl with her tits out descends the stair, so graceful our gazes turn vastly demure, while little Fats lap dances his closeted guy. Stalagmites and stalactites both endure to make a point. Battering ram of galvanic brutal sound, misty light that's stained with blood and wine, dank shirt extrudes a brimstone stench of highway exit thunderclap. I stomp the blister out on my toe, adhesive press-on fiberboard, tramp black tar magma pothole patch, straight down to China if I can. My lost love echoes from far off. I can't tell if I will come back. Our host is filled with sweet contempt, throws up the house to bring us back.
Yeah.
I think we might have had enough.
It's up to you, David.
Two? Could you put up with two more?
Yeah.
That's what I had planned for the time you gave me, Matthew, and I thank you very much. On Park Avenue, in New York City, during the most humid part of the summer, one can stroll on Park Avenue, and as you pass exclusive apartment buildings or fancy boutiques, be cooled by a rush of refrigerated air as a doorman does his doorman thing. They have not yet been able to figure out a way to restrict access to this luxurious air's escape, so that it may be sampled by the preppy homeless person of the Upper East Side, this skinny middle-aged white guy in khaki chinos and filmy polo shirt who lays collapsed on the sidewalk outside what may have formerly been his building, with his strange watercolors laid out for sale. Or that chalky-faced woman who sits cross-legged, holding a homemade sign that says, "Who will prosecute Leon Panetta in the afternoon glare?" The fingers of chilly drift touch the surface of their skin for the briefest moment, giving them a flash of escape, an open hydrant free-fall, which reminds them and me of the ultimate price of freedom.
Yeah.
Okay, you've been good, thank you. All that authenticity may be getting old. It was under the influence of a GE soft-light moon luminescing a scrolling curtain of crochet cloud that I arrived at an evening in November. The branches of brilliant yellow leaves were gathering up armfuls of potent autumn air and scrubbing themselves down with it. My mother would have said that it was balmy weather for this time of year, while conversely, the wounds of the crucified Christ was anointed by a weeping Magdalene with a cooling, soothing herbal balm. And a street musician on alto sax played Misty. And I thought of Errol Garner moaning softly at the piano with a chest full of cancer. And I just turned the corner and found the skin I had shed so many years ago. I had wanted to change, but a crueler moon burned it off my back. I took it in my hands and read it like a book written in form of braille for the emotionally crippled. I read the part where the one and only one who had walked out on my world came back to propose that she could be like Rilke's wife at the end. Only for me, do things to help me in my solitude. But I reminded her Rilke was the one who had left his wife for the sake of the great work. I could not be the poet, aching in this howling alpine tower. I had to write the poems that would cast me as unreal in my faith as this shimmering world which refused to believe that winter would come.
David Lawton. Oh, people, give it up. Give it up. Give it up.
Yeah.
I like
little more crowded. Today was a tough day. I love all you fucking people, by the way. I just want to say that. Holy shit, man. You know, I'm sorry, I gotta be political for another minute before I introduce the next one, because this shit just eats at me, you know? I mean, I take it personally. My parents were Holocaust survivors, so this shit is not abstract to me. It's like, holy fuck, what is going on? RFK has just eliminated, basically, sanity from American health. I mean, he's got anti-vax conspiracy heads running the fucking health services. What the fuck is going on? Holy shit. So anyway, like, you know, yell at fascists, no, laugh at fascists, because they can't stand that. It makes them feel like their dicks are tiny. Because they are. Punch Nazis, because they deserve punching. And, you know, just yell, fucking yell, every day, get out there and yell. You know, we're doing a little thing here, and you think we're not making a goddamn difference. But we are the only place that's making a fucking difference. It's up to us, because democracy is up to us, and they don't have the power if we don't give it to them. So fucking stand the fuck up, yell at everyone who needs to be yelled at, punch every motherfucker, and let's just take this country back.
Go Kings, July 4th.
No Kings, July 4th. Then 2 quick bits of business. I will be hosting at the Governor's Island Poetry Festival. New York Poetry Festival is early this year. Instead of the end of July, it's July 12th and 13th. So I have stage time on the 13th, and I believe David Lawton will be on my stage on July 13th. I heard a rumor about that. So if you like David, you want to hear him again.
3 different poems.
And he's awesome. So anyway, that's a great fucking weekend. So that's July 13th. Then July 17th is the next time we have this stage. And am I not too stoned to figure out who it is? It's Zed Torres and Jennifer Martelli coming down from Boston, and I'm vamping because I cannot remember who the fucking third feature is. Oh, I suck as a host. It could be Google. You know what? I'll be back on the mic before this night is over, and I will let you know who the third feature is. But get on the open mic. Come back. We do this the third Thursday of every month. All of you all, come back. We love you all. All right. Our last feature of the evening is Marianne Murray. Marianne runs I know her through a email daily poetry series. And I'm a big fan. I used to run a workshop for 10 years, and I host these shows. And open mics and workshops are the heart blood of poetry. That's where you learn to be a poet. And well, her thing isn't so much a workshop, because we don't critique each other's work. We just find what's positive in it, which is a really beautiful take. And she's been doing it for several years, and I've been involved in it for a couple of years. And it keeps me writing every day. That's why I started the workshop I ran, was just to keep my lazy ass writing. And I just appreciate that she does this, and she puts a lot of work, and it's a big part of my life is writing a poem every day, because Marianne runs this thing. And she's a fucking good poet, and she's a really good human being. So give it up for Marianne Murray.
Woo!
Thank you, Matthew. Very happy Juneteenth and solstice. So I brought some old poems and some new poems. So I'll just start with an old poem that I wrote when I lived in San Francisco. Made some observations on my commute. Careering. All us chickens marching lockstep to our offices. An act of endurance to fulfill the corporate imperative. Looking to peck out of our shells one day, like we weren't already hatched. The lady has woken, licks a paw, swipes an eye, and is refreshed enough to subvert the house rules. On the counter, with good cause, deserved some wet food. Hanging with the Quebecois relations, French, how it rolls off the tongue and canoodles with the inner ear, rolls its R's, twirling its mustache, looking down its nose at you, ever reminding you it will always sound better than you as you sit there with your flat-assed English trying to keep up, quacking like a duck. So this was from the poetry group that Matthew had described. The proctor was via negativa, which is describing something, the opposite of which it is. Avalanche. My sister and me, we clean out my father's bedroom closet, teeming with stuff. The dust. It was not as gross as a dumpster fire, didn't smell any weirder. The airy black stain spreading in the corner didn't scare us any further than a slow-moving train wreck. Decades of neglect, festering in the dark. Creaky. Feast on this sad little poem written from exhaustion, limping from one questionable line to the next. If it had a smell, it would be yeasty. I brought this poem in honor of today, the first really hot weather that we've had. Thirst. Hot July afternoon without a prayer of wind. Visualize ice flows, freeze pops, alpine lakes, lemonade, shade. Armpits raised in front of the air conditioner. Drink refrigerated air. Shelf life. It's a quick one, so don't drift in your thoughts or anything. Shelf life. Life's precious energy in expense of things that need to be bought. Gotta turn the page back. Shelf life. Life's precious energy in expense of things that need to be bought.
Yeah.
Make it a double. Things have gone so far to the dogs. Let's make this one a double. And the next one. And the one after that. And keep them coming until I can't see straight. Until I can't see. Until the lights go out. Keep them coming until the bottles run dry. And then keep them flowing and move. So that when I wake up and read the news, make that one a double too. Oh, I guess I should have mentioned we're in the buzzkill mention portion of my reading. So there's a few poems that are, but it's the world we live in now. So, oh, the news. Funny as a busted leg, a knock in the head, a case of the flu coming at you like a speeding right hook. Bigger catastrophe, a whole book. Born, and I spell this BORN/E. Gyrations and dips, exhilarating when applied to things like dance, less so for stock markets and world diplomacy. The earth shifts under our feet, swept into a dance, uncharted and new. So this one I wrote many years ago, and it was when some mass shooting many years ago, and I thought to bring it because of the events that happened in Minnesota last weekend. Still relevant. So, insert perpetrator here. A stranger came into town. Turns out he was with us all along. In plain sight, invisible. He left a manifesto, some online evidence, shot up the place. Plastic. What will become of us, all of this plastic? Ick, all the packaging. Straws, bottles, caps, pills, and blister packs, plastic bags and perpetuity. All the multitudes addicted to a steady diet of junk food wrapped in single-use plastic. Ick. Who knows what we've done? All of those microplastics. Ick. In the oceans, in our bodies, in our bones, the whole world drowning in plastic. Ick. Ick. Schadenfreude. People know what Schadenfreude is?
Yeah, we live with it now.
Schadenfreude. It is all I have amid my anger and fear. That sickly, sweet relishing of Trump's losses, which are, of course, our losses too. As in, we're all in the same boat, and it's his boat, and it's the Titanic, and it's steaming toward the iceberg. Sorry, guys. Okay, end of the bus. It's just one more. It's slightly like inspirational, I guess. So I started watching it's interesting watching videos of. I listened to this book about solo sailors around the world. It got me really interested. And it is harrowing, man, going out there and sailing in the Southern Ocean on your own. But so anyhow, so I was inspired to write this poem after watching these endless videos of people on sailboats at sea. Like a storm storming in, taking all the blue from the sky, as if the sun had died and the whole world was wind. A petrel caught in a gale, keeping up the fight, small but mighty, punching above its weight. A coin falling in water. Dance performing at Dance performance at Cotspawn, the Catskills, purpling in the distance. Clouds smeared above the mountains. The setting sun blistered like a yoke. The dancer's green slip, a sliver against the trees. Silver, a shimmer, a slip into water. So this is the oldest poem, I think, that I have here today. It's called Sugar. Can't sleep because you had too much sugar, so instead you listen to your heart thud in your pillow. Think of a Discovery Channel show on open heart surgery where they cleave the sternum open like it was a purse. And there was the restless heart, undulating like a belly dancer's belly, as if it had a mind of its own, which it does. And you're wide awake, you feel the blood frisk in your veins, pushing in its endless loop to feed the organs, to flood the interstitial spaces. And as you close your eyes, you can see it as well as you had cleaved your own self open. You know the lag between your heartbeat and the pulse in your big toe. You diagram every vessel with surgical precision, wide awake while you should be sleeping. My final poem. So this is my most New York poem, so I thought I should bring it. And I really don't write like this, so. Upon reading The Day Lady Died, I happened across a Frank O'Hara's poem, The Day Lady Died, and feel inspired to write in his style, though I really don't name drop like him. What names do I have to drop? I don't have his pedigree either, and I don't smoke. I suppose I'm really nothing like him. But for the sake of experimentation, which he would approve, I now have his voice in mind, his mid-Atlantic accent, with maybe a touch of Brooklyn, as he reads yet another favorite, Having a Coke with You, as recited in a film taped only weeks before he died. I think I have it now, like he's trying to have a conversation with himself, and we just happen to be listening and wishing we were there with him in 1960s New York, in the company of poets, artists, intellectuals, at dinners and parties and clubs, all the more tragic. His death, I mean. Mowed down by a dune buggy on a beach in Fire Island after a night of drinking, as he walked to the water's edge, not far from where years before he wrote his famous poem, A True Account of Talking to the Sun at Fire Island, whose last line, something, foretold his death. But isn't it true what his epitaph says? Grace to be born and live as variously as possible, which surely he did. So maybe we shouldn't feel as badly as we do, deprived of however many poems he might have written on scraps of paper and stuffed into drawers, which he was known to do.
Yeah.
Marianne Murray, give it up.
Yeah.
Well, that's our shit for this month. How awesome. I love it. You all, again. We'll be back next month. William Washington is the third person next month. So it should be a really good show. Come back, get on the open mic. And I'm going to announce something without even asking these people, but I think by the end of the year, this workshop we do online is going to have a live reading maybe in this.